In the year 2012, Sam Abraham, a resident of Caravaggio in Kerala's Kollam district, was living in Melbourne with his wife, Sophia. Sam worked at UE Exchange there. The couple also had a son. Every year, Sam visited Kerala during holidays to meet his family. In October 2015, Sam and Sophia, along with their 7-year-old son, came to Kerala to spend their vacation. During this trip, Sam shared something frightening with his father, Samuel. He told him that he felt as though he wouldn't survive after returning to Australia. He said he might come back to Kerala in a coffin. Sam also expressed his wish to be buried next to his grandfather. These words were deeply distressing for his father. Nevertheless, after enjoying their holidays, Sam prepared to return to Australia on October 11th. As he bid farewell to his family, his father hugged him tightly, not knowing it would be their last meeting. Tragically, just 3 days after returning to Australia, Sam passed away. True to his words, he returned to Kerala in a coffin. Sam's father, Samuel, was inconsolable, clinging to his son's lifeless body and weeping. His mother, Leelama, was equally heartbroken. Initially, everyone believed that Sam had died of a heart attack. But when the truth about his death came to light, no one, neither in India nor in Australia, could believe it. As per Sam's wish, he was buried next to his grandfather. Following this, Sophia returned to Melbourne with her 7-year-old son and her sister, Sonia. Back in Kerala, Sam's grieving parents spent their days looking at his photographs and crying. Their lives had turned utterly sorrowful. About 10 months later, on August 12, 2016, Samuel received a call from the police in Australia. They informed him that his son hadn't died of a heart attack, it was a murder. The revelation left Samuel trembling and unable to process the horrific truth. Sam and Sophia had built a small world together in the Melbourne suburb of Epping after moving from a small village in Kerala. But on the morning of October 14, 2015, their lives were shattered by an unimaginable tragedy. On the night of October 13th, Sam and Sophia had dinner together and went to bed. The next morning, when Sophia woke up, she saw foam coming out of Sam's mouth. His body was cold and rigid. Horrified, she immediately woke up their 7-year-old son. Then, she called her sister, Sonia, who worked as a nurse in Melbourne, and a friend, asking them to come over. Following Sonia's advice, Sophia called emergency services at 9:01 am. The responder instructed her to perform CPR on Sam. Shortly after, Sonia and her friend arrived. However, by the time they got there, Sam's mouth was filled with foam and blood. His jaw was clenched so tightly that his tongue was stuck between his teeth, making CPR impossible. When the emergency team arrived, Sam was declared dead. Initially, it was presumed that he had died of a heart attack in his sleep. This news was devastating for Sophia, as everything seemed fine the night before, but by morning, her world had collapsed. Their 7-year-old son had lost his father. The police and forensic teams thoroughly investigated the scene, but found no signs of a struggle or forced entry. When the tragic news reached Sam's parents in Kerala, they were in disbelief. Sam's entire family was in shock. With the help of the Malayali community in Melbourne, Sam's body was flown back to Kerala on October 16, 2015. Sophia and her son accompanied the body. Sophia was shattered by Sam's death, and anyone who saw her condition couldn't hold back their tears. 12 days after Sam's death, on October 24, 2015, Sophia returned to Australia due to her work and her son's education. Despite her grief, she stayed in touch with Sam's parents, calling them every Sunday to check on them. Samuel found solace in hearing her voice, keeping his son's memories alive through her and their grandson. But suddenly, in July 2016, 9 months after Sam's death, Sophia stopped calling. Samuel waited all day for her call, but it never came. The following Sunday, too, there was no call. Then, on August 12, 2016, Samuel received a shocking call from the Australian police. They informed him that Sam's death was not due to a heart attack, but a murder. The police revealed that they had arrested Sophia on suspicion of murdering Sam. This raised numerous questions. How could a heart attack be deemed a murder? Was Sophia falsely implicated? The autopsy report had changed the course of the investigation. It revealed that Sam had died due to cyanide poisoning. The amount of cyanide in his blood was so high that it could have killed 27 people. Additionally, Sam had been drugged, making it clear that this wasn't a natural death, but a premeditated murder. The police's primary suspect was Sophia. But the question remained, was Sophia truly behind Sam's murder, or was she being framed in a larger conspiracy? The truth is, Australia's police approach investigations very differently. After the post-mortem report came in, they didn't immediately interrogate Sophia. Instead, they deliberately withheld information from her about the drug traces found in the report. This was because, often, when a suspect isn't under suspicion, they tend to behave normally for a while to avoid drawing attention. However, once they believe the matter has cooled off, they start reverting to their true behavior. Following this plan, the Australian police set up multiple surveillance teams to monitor Sophia secretly. One team closely observed her every move, another monitored her call recordings, and a third scrutinized her bank transactions. This surveillance didn't last just days or weeks, but went on for several months. It is often seen that no matter how clever a criminal may be, they eventually make a mistake. This case was no exception. 5 months after Sam's death, the police found a major clue. Sophia had transferred Sam's car to someone else's name. Following that, she opened a joint bank account with the same individual and transferred all the funds from Sam's account into the new one. Meanwhile, the surveillance team observed Sophia secretly meeting with a man over the past few days. They would meet discreetly in parks or cafes in Melbourne, initially avoiding crowds and people. But later, they started meeting openly in public places. The police recorded over 100 hours of their calls. When all the data was collected, Sam's car transfer, the joint bank account, and Sophia's secret meetings, it became evident that the same individual was involved in all these activities. His name was Aaron Kamalasanan. But the big question was, how did Aaron come into the picture? How did he enter Sam and Sophia's seemingly happy life? To answer this, we need to go back into Sam and Sophia's history. In 1981, Sam Abraham was born in a small village called Karavalur in the Kollam district of Kerala. From a young age, Sam had a passion for music and singing. His father once took him to the Bethel Marthoma Church, where Sam joined the church's music group. In this group, he met a girl named Sophia. Sam was a simple and straightforward boy, and he became good friends with Sophia. As they grew older, Sam introduced Sophia to his father, Samuel. He explained that Sophia was his childhood friend. However, for some reason, Samuel didn't approve of Sophia and even stopped talking to Sam. Samuel's wife, Leelama, tried to reason with him, saying there was no harm if their son was in a relationship. Relationships were common in modern times. But Samuel replied that something about Sophia didn't feel right. In 23, Sam wanted to marry Sophia, but he went to Dindigul, Tamil Nadu, to complete his MBA. Meanwhile, Sophia joined the Mahatma Gandhi Institute in Kottayam to pursue an MSc in electronics. It was here that Sophia met Arun Kamalasanan. The two became friends and started spending a lot of time together. Their friendship soon turned into love. Despite being in a relationship with Sam, Sophia fell for Arun and even proposed to him. To impress Arun, Sophia told him about Sam, describing him as simple and boring, claiming she could never be happy with him. Aaron and Sophia started planning their future together. In 2005, Aaron got a job after completing his master's degree, while Sophia and Sam reconnected after their studies. However, Sophia never told Sam about her affair with Aaron. In 2008, Sam proposed to Sophia and shared that he had been offered a job as an exchange officer at Lulu Exchange in Oman. Sophia accepted his proposal. Sam's father, Samuel, initially opposed the marriage, but Sophia threatened to end her life if it didn't happen. Fearing the worst, Samuel reluctantly agreed, believing Sophia deeply loved his son. Little did he know that the same woman would later be arrested under suspicion of his son's murder. Sam and Sophia married in 2008 in a Christian ceremony. A year later, they had a son. Sophia started working at a firm in Bengaluru, while Sam continued his job in Oman. Everything seemed fine to the outside world, but Sophia was far from happy. She had married Sam, but she still missed Aaron deeply. One day, unable to control her emotions, she called Aaron and arranged to meet him at a hotel. Their extramarital affair resumed, and they began meeting frequently. However, Aaron later told Sophia that he would receive a job offer in Melbourne in 2 years and wouldn't be able to stay with her. To move on, Aaron married someone else. Sophia accepted this reality, knowing their time together was limited. After hearing this, Sophia's eyes lit up. A glimmer of hope to meet Aaron awakened in her heart. With her sister's help, Sophia found a job in Melbourne and moved there in 2012, ahead of Aaron. She then called Aaron and told him she was waiting for him in Melbourne. Sophia also knew that her husband, Sam, wanted to stay with his family and would never move so far. However, she was unaware that not everyone was as unfaithful as she was. 2 months before Aaron's move to Melbourne, Sam had already arrived there and taken up a job at UE Exchange. Following this, Sam and Sophia started living together in Melbourne. However, Sam's presence caused problems for Sophia and Aaron to meet. Together, they devised a sinister plan. In July 2015, at Melbourne's Lala railway station, a masked attacker ambushed Sam with a sharp weapon. The assailant had hidden in Sam's car. As Sam sat on the driver's seat, the attacker struck, inflicting deep wounds on Sam's neck and temple. However, Sam fought back and managed to unmask the attacker, who then fled in fear. Sam later informed the police that he had seen the attacker's face but couldn't recognize him. During the investigation, it was discovered that on the day of the attack, Aaron had not gone to work. It was revealed that Aaron and Sophia had planned to kill Sam that day. Sam, sensing the threat, had already confided in his father, fearing he might not return alive from Australia. On October 11, 2015, after returning from Kerala, Sophia told Aaron she could no longer tolerate Sam. She expressed feeling suffocated living with him. Sophia urged Aaron to devise a plan to ensure Sam wouldn't survive. Using his contacts, Aaron acquired cyanide. On October 13th, the plan was executed. That night, Aaron drove to Sophia's house while she prepared avocado milk laced with sedatives to ensure Sam would fall into a deep sleep. As planned, Sam drank the milk and fell unconscious. Shortly after, Aaron arrived. Sophia led him to the room where Sam lay unconscious. Aaron then took out the cyanide, and Sophia brought pre-prepared orange juice. Sophia was elated as she saw Sam, the biggest obstacle in her life, nearing his end. However, when Aaron tried to pour the cyanide-laced juice into Sam's mouth, Sophia stopped him, fearing Sam might spit it out. Using a spoon, Aaron carefully fed the juice to Sam, bit by bit. Despite Sam's death, they continued to administer the juice, ensuring no chance of survival. The forensic team later remarked they had never seen such a high concentration of cyanide in a person's liver, 28 milligrams per kilogram, far above the lethal dose of 1 milligram per kilogram. After killing Sam, Aaron and Sophia destroyed all evidence. They then engaged in physical intimacy before Aaron left. Sophia went to bed beside her son, who was sleeping next to Sam's lifeless body. The following morning, Sophia began crying and informed everyone that Sam had died of a heart attack. However, the Victorian Institute of Forensic Medicine uncovered cyanide traces in Sam's blood and organs during the autopsy. They immediately informed the police, confirming it was a murder. Initially, the police suspected Aaron, as he was the prime suspect in the earlier attack on Sam. The investigation took a turn when Aaron's computer revealed explicit photos and videos of him and Sophia. Additionally, Sophia had sent money to a joint account she shared with Aaron 3 times between January 2014 and July 2015. Further investigation revealed Aaron had possessions registered in Sam's name, including a car. These findings confirmed that Sophia was the mastermind behind Sam's murder, with Aaron as her accomplice. The police gathered ample evidence, including their joint account details, phone records of 6,000 calls, and Sophia's diary. Sophia's diary contained romantic and sinister entries for Aaron, revealing her dark side. With all this evidence, the court sentenced Sophia to 22 years, with no parole for 18 years, and Aaron to 27 years. However, Aaron's sentence was later reduced to 24 years after an appeal. This case became infamous in Australia, symbolized by the phrase, "kiss of death," referring to Sophia's final act of deceit. Sam's parents continue to fight for custody of their grandson, who now lives with Sophia's family. Samuel and Leelama, Sam's parents, yearn for custody of their grandson. They speak to him every Sunday, but Sophia's family's proximity hinders open communication. They also fear that if Sophia is released, she might harm the boy. Samuel has continually appealed to the Indian government and even written to the Ministry of External Affairs to gain custody of his grandson. He remains determined in his efforts. Friends, the purpose of sharing this story is not to hurt anyone or cause distress, but to raise awareness and alertness. What are your thoughts on this entire incident? Let us know in the comments below. If you appreciated our effort, like and share this video. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Thank you.